Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate you coming on such short notice here, so I'll try to be brief and to the point and get you out of here at a decent time. Tonight we're going to be talking about continuous improvement at UTC Aerospace. In specific, we'll talk about the UTC De-icer Service Center, which I believe most of you know, but in case you don't, it is where we install these pneumatic de-icers onto the leading edges or wings of the aircraft. It is located at the North Canton, it's in North Canton, it's the Akron Canton Airport. We are located there, we have a hangar. We've been there for over 80 years installing these pneumatic de-icers. We are very trusted in the industry, and we service mostly all US, and there's a few foreign, maybe Canadian customers that we have out of the service center. What we want to do today is just to remain one of the leaders in the industry on this, and to do so, I think some changes need to be made, and so we're going to discuss those tonight. And what we did was we used a SWOT analysis to decide what those changes might be. And a SWOT analysis, which you probably are all aware, are identifying your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. A strength is definitely that we're reputable and we've been around a long time, and we turn the planes pretty quickly, usually between a day and a half to 2 days, which is a leading time in the industry. We're definitely the quickest. We're probably the most economical, but there's probably some room to where we can wiggle and we can make things even a little bit more enticing to our customers. Our weaknesses is that we're limited in capacity. We only have 4 aircraft mechanics. That's 1 shift total, and then myself, the office manager, and our service center manager. So we're a small group. The facility is not that large. We can hold usually about 2 aircraft at a time. So we have to schedule things strategically when we are getting business, and we are very limited on what we can work on, simultaneously within a week. So that's definitely a weakness, as well as the building is kind of old, so the infrastructure, the roof, that kind of thing. Things definitely need to be upgraded a bit. But opportunities we have are that we really have a lot of opportunity to enter more into the military market. We do mostly business, regional, and commercial aircraft, and there is a big market for military out there. I think we're only doing about 2 different military applications right now. And then the biggest threat would be competition. We do have a big competitor out there, mostly BE Aerospace. They sell a very comparable de-icer with the brand name of Ice Shield, and so they are out there. So tonight we'll talk about just tackling our opportunities and our threats. And really, our opportunities are our threats, because if we don't do something and take those opportunities, our competitors will. And the way we decided to tackle the problem and win back business would be by using the obtain problem-solving process. And that is basically outlining your question or your problem statement, breaking down the issues of the problem, testing your hypothesis, analyzing your solution, imagining your solution, and then notifying you, the stakeholders. So first, we're outlining the question. How can we, UTC De-icer Service Center, increase our sales by 30% by the end of 2016-17, based on 2014-15 sales? What we plan to do is just break that into 2 pieces, do 15% this year and 15% next year. And we do that by breaking down the issues. What are some solutions that we might have? And one is providing additional services. We currently just install the de-icers, or replace the de-icers on aircraft that already have them. We can also install new systems, like for aircraft that basically regionally, we're in warmer climates that don't even have de-icers, we can do full system installations. So we would not only be doing the de-icers, but we could also do the valves and the timers and that sort of thing. So it would be a full system installation. Another option would be to do system checks. The FAA requires that all operating aircraft get a system check annually. It's kind of like with your car when you're getting registration or the e-check, that type of thing, like a safety check. And so we could get more involved in that and add to our revenue. Another thing would be changing our pricing structure. For those customers that have multiple aircraft, we can offer multi-aircraft discounts. We can also sign long-term agreements with some of those customers that repeat, that have a whole fleet of aircraft. And then we can also do it through promotion. We can run monthly promotions. We've done it in the past sometimes, and it seems to work. It usually provides you about somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen quotations and scheduled services from those promotions. And basically, when you come up with these solutions, you kind of test them. Will they work? I believe that they will work. As far as, boosting sales with additional services, in the past when it's done historically, because we did pull some historic data, it did seem to boost sales quite a bit. So that's definitely an avenue that we can take. Also, the long-term agreements, those are great. There's plenty of customers out there that are repeat, and I believe that if there was something in it for them, they would be willing to sign up and commit to us as their sole supplier of the de-icers. Moving on, we analyze our solution. We want to make sure that our solution is, prepared. Are we prepared for these customers? Are we engaging with these customers? Are we convincing them that we have what they need and want? And then are we following through with those customers? Are we providing what we say we're going to provide? And are we delivering on time? And are we following up with those customers to see if they're happy? What can we do better? Kind of a lessons learned thing. That's really important. And when you do those things and they see that kind of commitment, they are happy. They will come back. They will refer. We did this all by brainstorming and asking 5 whys and 4 P's of marketing, which are, focus on your price, your product, your place, and your promotion. That's where we came up with these ideas, like how do we move forward? How do we get back to that 30% increase? So the team and I came up with 8 possible solutions, which were, do we add people and shifts? Do we expand the service center so that we can provide, more services at the same time? Do we renovate, make the place look, all updated and more enticing to our customers? Do we provide additional services, more advertising, monthly sale promos, trade shows, conferences, long-term agreements? So we basically compared those on a grid analysis, and the last 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 were the ones we came up with. We said this is the combo that we need. And so we decided we will attend the trade shows. We will increase our advertising. I brought some examples of some advertising pieces in here and I'll pass these around after the presentation, where we could be advertising in main periodicals that all these aircraft operators and owners look at constantly. Here's one of our ads here, but we also have a competitor that lists a pretty big ad, and this competitor is somebody that we need to be watching out for, because if we don't, they will. So basically tonight, here's the presentation. Followed up by this will be a written report of the step-by-step action plan that we have in place to make this all work. So I do believe that we can reach our 30% increase goal by the advertising additional services and pricing structures and attending the trade shows. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I wonder how quickly the step-by-step action plan can be implemented.
Well, the action plan you'll receive tonight, the detail in it, we should be able to implement it approximately 1 week after the approval process. Any more?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a contingency plan should parts of the solution not be approved, such as travel limitations and budget restrictions for advertising?
Sure. There's some in-house things we can do with advertising. Maybe to cut costs, we can do inside mailers. We can utilize the company's Facebook account as far as advertising, and only advertise to maybe the key 5 magazines or something. Just kind of scale that down a bit. And as far as travel, attending trade shows and that, we can narrow it down to maybe like the 5 top aircraft sales operators that we have, and just make sure that we definitely hit those trade shows.
Okay.
If you know, if cost savings comes into play. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I thank you for your time, and you can stick around and there'll be some cocktails afterwards. Thank you.